Hey everybody, Tony George, DocSports.com. We're talking PGA Championship, two best bets in the top 10. And I'll throw in some top 20s just for craps and giggles. Right there it is, Kauai Island, South Carolina. Last one I went to was in 2015 at Whistling Straits right up there in Kohler, Wisconsin. I'll be watching this at home this weekend, and let's get right to it here. This is a very demanding golf course. It's a very difficult golf course. It's 7,820 yards long. It is a monster. A monster. But not necessarily a big hitter's course in terms of hit your ball like Bryson DeChambeau, 360 yards. Driving accuracy, not distance, is going to be crucial on this course. And you can expect a lot of wind, which brings in players that have grown up and are used to playing in the wind, which will bring in some European players, some Euro players. It'll bring in boys from Texas. Guys that live in Vegas. Colin Morikawa lives in Vegas. Kevin Na lives in Vegas. I live in Vegas. I played yesterday. You play in 15, 20 mile an hour winds out here nonstop, especially out in Vegas. You play in Paiute, you're playing in 30 mile an hour winds. That's the name of the game. But this is right on the ocean, this course here. I'll tell you how tough it is. When Roy McIlroy won this thing in 2012, a PGA Championship, I think he won it by 8 strokes. On the final round, I think it was 54 players, if I'm not mistaken, in the final round shot 80 or higher. No, it's not a state am. That was a PGA Tour sanctioned major. That's how tough this course can be. So, it's obviously a long ball hitter. If you're good with your long irons, you're going to be right in the mix here, which is going to bring some players into play. So let's talk. These top 20s, we're just going to throw them out there. And the top 20s at a major on a course like this, it's the usual suspects. Your two Texas boys, Justin Thomas and Jordan Spieth. Spieth coming off a pretty good tournament last week down to Byron Nelson. He won the Valero Texas Open down in San Antonio. He's got his game back. He's got the game for it, but I'm concerned about his driving accuracy for anything more than the top 20. Thomas has kind of been all over the board this year, but he's definitely long, and he definitely can get his long irons going. Also, I think you want to talk about a couple Euro players. You're going to be talking about Victor Hovland. You're going to be talking about John Rahm. I'm a big Cameron Smith fan. This kid can flat out ball. He can just, he's unbelievable. But those would be, some of the usual. McIlroy, Dustin Thomas, or Dustin Johnson. You can spread these around however you want, but we're talking best bets and we're talking top 10 here. So I'm going to give you two. And my best bet on the board is Webb Simpson. And I'll tell you why. This guy is ranked 5th in the world. He's number 5 on the tour in scoring average, number 5 in driving accuracy, number 15 in greens and regulation, 59th in eagles. Now that's interesting because of all the players getting eagles on the PGA Tour, those are usually 99.9% of the time par 5s. Now he is like average off the box, 292 yards. Bear in mind this is a 7,800 yard course. But for being 292 yards off the box to be ranked in the top 75 in eagles on the tour per round, pretty impressive. He's also 6th in sand saves on tour. He's at plus 350 for a top 10. And what does he, by the way, the guy won a U.S. Open. He always is on the hunt, always on the leaderboard in big tournaments, big majors, big tournaments in general, I like him. I think he's going to make some noise this week. Webb Simpson, plus 350 for a top 10 finish. That's my best bet. Also, top 10, Victor Hovland. This kid contended for U.S. Open as an amateur. He was sniffing around the U.S. Open this year when Bryson DeChambeau won. This guy is all world. His chipping game leaves a little bit to be desired. He's working on it. He's great out of the sand, but his short game around the green gets him in trouble. Otherwise, he'd won more tournaments. But the one thing about it is he's number 1 on the PGA Tour in scoring average and number 2 in birdies. And top 20 in eagles. That's what it takes on a course like this. And the one thing, if you look at long approach, at 7,800 yards long, these guys aren't hitting wedges into par fours. They're hitting long irons, especially in the wind. Think about that. And of course, Hovland played at Oklahoma State down in Stillwater. There's wind down there every day. You know. That being said, from 250 to 270 yards out, he's third on the tour in hitting greens. At 220 to 250, he's fifth in hitting greens with long irons. I like him here. I think he makes some noise. He's on the cusp of being one of the better golfers on tour week in and week out and a threat to win any tournament. I like him. And he is plus 225. He's actually a lower odds favorite than what Webb Simpson is. I like them both. Those are my best bets for your top 10. My daily head-to-heads will be over at Docs during this tournament, Thursday through Sunday. We've cashed in 10 out of our last 13 tournaments in daily head-to-heads. When you add them up at the end of the tournament, how'd you do? Did you win that tournament or did you lose that tournament based on how many head-to-head matchups you won in that particular tournament? We've won 10 out of 13. Let's make it 11 out of 14. Doc Sports, get the free $60. Get on them. Enjoy the PGA Championship this week.